Good evening. Yes, that's right. It's evening here on the East Coast. Welcome back to the evening edition of the V&H virtual event space. You are not seeing things. It's 9 o'clock here in New York. We got Alexis Cuarezma is joining us from the West Coast. So a special treat for you guys tonight. You are here for cinematic lighting for still and motion with Alexis Cuarezma, sponsored by StellaPro Lights. Tonight, photographer director Alexis is going to give you an inside look at how he shapes light for his most iconic portraits and videos. We're also getting a special treat tonight. That's right. He's going to be debuting his documentary starring professional boxer Omar Juarez, lit exclusively by StellaPro Lights. So I want to thank our sponsor for tonight's event, StellaPro Lights, and welcome, Alexis. How's it going, man? I think you're muted there. You're already... Still no audio, Alexis. We'll get it worked out. While they're working on that audio there, we do apologize, but tonight we're going to be going over Alexis's process. We also do have a giveaway, so make sure you stay with us. We are going to open up entry for the giveaway. It's already been open. We're going to close it out.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, there we go.
Am I on?
Now
there's a mute. Yeah, got it, man.
Well,
just want to make it exciting for you. You see how how you react when something goes wrong. So.
No, hey, all that matters is you're here. We got the sound. We're good. We got everything working. I was just letting them know, Alexis, we got a treat tonight, and we are doing some giveaways. So we are working in partnership with ViewSonic on this. StellaPro Lights is going to be giving away a StellaPro CL 1000, and ViewSonic will also be giving away a ViewSonic VG1655 portable 15.6-inch monitor. So make sure you guys stay with us. You're not only going to get a special treat, you're going to get a lot of information. It's going to be a fun hour, and we are giving some stuff away. So make sure you stay in. We are going to close that off at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you have about 28 minutes to get your entries in. We'll make sure we drop the link in there for all of you guys watching, but make sure to get all your questions in. If you have anything, Alexis is going to be taking questions throughout the presentation. So don't wait until the end. Get them in. But Alexis, welcome, man. How's it going?
Going great, man. Yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please ask away. I love Q&A. I love interaction. I want this to be more of an interaction than the lecture and just me talking your ear off. So any questions, please ask away.
Awesome. Well, hey, they came here for you, not me. So take it away, brother.
All right, cool, man. So just to give you guys a little backstory on me, I'm a photographer and director. I've been shooting for 15 years now. I started doing photography. I started shooting actually Little League and worked my way up to high school. And then thankfully, after a lot of hard work and tenacity and dedication, I ended up working with some of the best athletes, thankfully. And today I'm going to show you some of my latest work. I primarily started doing stills, but now I'm doing both. I'm still in directing video. And I was really excited to have the opportunity to work with Omar Juarez, who's a professional boxer when he was here in town. And he was training for an upcoming fight. So I was able to do a short film with him. And I'll go over... you'll see behind the scenes of how I made that short film, and then we'll also premiere it. And then I'll go over all the gear that I'm using here to shoot. So just to go over the gear real fast that I'll be using for the shoot later today. This is a CLX10 from Light in Motion. This is one of my favorite lights because if you see it right here, as it is, it's a standalone light and it has the battery built into it. And you don't need to plug it in, and it'll last full power. For full power lasts for about 45 minutes, but the great thing about these lights is you could trigger them from a remote. So I'll show my setup that I have here later, but you could rig them up really high and turn them off like this and then turn them on with the remote, so that way you don't got to worry about the battery dying. And this is pretty much the main accessory that I use with them. It's a Fresnel lens, and what it does without it, you see the beam spread's a lot wider, and what this does is basically it focuses your beam and it increases the output by like two or three. And this is, again, this is just the main accessory that I use with these lights all the time because it gives you more power, more punch. So it could save you power by not having to have the light at full power when you're using a hard light. So these are the lights I'll be using. Just like this, this is the only accessory I'm using, which is the Fresnel lens. And then only on one of the lights, another thing why I love these lights too as well is because this is a daylight head that I have in here, but they also have a tungsten head. So that way you don't gotta gel the light, or if you really want to overcorrect it, I put a tungsten head on this and a gel on top of that. And you'll see some of that in the behind the scenes of when I work with Omar. That's essentially what I did. I had 5 of these on one light stand with a triple header, and 5 of them were daylight. Then I had another C-stand with another triple header, and all 5 of those were tungsten balanced with the full CTO gel overcorrected. Yeah, this is pretty much, I use them exclusively with the Fresnel lens because it gives me more punch. And then I'll go over my camera setup because I know I'm going to get questions about that because I'm shooting with a camera that's not very common. So if you look, so right here, my camera choice, when I use continuous lighting, it's the Sigma FPL. That's because it has high megapixels, it has 61 megapixels, and is fairly good on low light. I'm comfortable using this up to ISO 6400, and it works really well. But usually I use it with a prime lens like this. The 2 lenses I'll be shooting with today is the Sigma 40mm 1.4, and then also the 85 R 1.4. And the way I have the setup here, whenever I shoot with this camera, I use either with prime lenses or I use it with vintage lenses. And vintage lenses only have manual focus. So to make sure I get the focus right, I use a 7-inch monitor. And the monitor I have here, my monitor choice is a OC 4K 7-inch monitor. And it's just attached here with to a cage with just a little mount right here. And then it's powered through an NPF battery. And if you're wondering what this is sticking out, this is just like a wireless HDMI feed. So when I shoot, you guys will be able to see literally what the screen is and my settings, and you'll be able to see everything. So that's the setup I'll be shooting. And I guess right now we could go and check out the behind the scenes of the film I did with Omar.
Hi, my name is Alexis Cuarezma. I'm a photographer and director based in the San Francisco Bay Area. I had the pleasure of meeting and working with Omar Juarez while he was here in the Bay Area, training for upcoming fight. For this project, I'm working on this short film with them. I didn't want his schedule to revolve around a shooting schedule. I wanted the shooting schedule to revolve around his training. So in order to do that, I had to be a one-man band so I could be flexible and mobile and be ready to go whenever Omar was going to train. Our procedure for making this short film was basically I was just in communication with Omar, and I would text him and he would let me know where he was training and what time. And then I would just pack my things and I'll be ready to go and meet him there. And my process when I arrived was basically working directly with Omar, or if he was working with Joey Santos, who was helping him train, I would just ask him what he was doing, if he was going to be on the punching bag, the speed bag, or jump rope. And when they would tell me where he was going to be, I would set up the lighting. And that's where the flexibility and the portability of the CLX stand came in. I was working with 2 sets of 5. I had 5 lights on one C-stand using a triple header. One set of 5 was daylight balanced. The other set of 5 was tungsten balanced. That's so I could get color contrast in camera as much as I can and make the image in the film more visually compelling. Once I knew what he was doing, I would set up the lights to be so where it looked best in the framing. And then I would film Omar doing whatever he was doing, whether it was training, working the mitts. And one of the great things of working with continuous lighting is once you lit your scene, once you lit your set, it's already lit. So once you're done filming, you could take photographs. So in working in the short film with them, not only did I get a short film that I'm proud of, but I also got a great set of images of Omar working out. I'm excited to share this film with you guys at the end of this broadcast. So stay tuned and be sure to check it out. All right, take care.
All right, cool, guys. So that's the behind the scenes of the making of that. So what I'll do right now, so I'll show you the lighting setup that I have set up here where we'll be shooting. So I have a total of 2, 4, I have 5 lights that I'll be shooting, but this is the remote that I use that I set why I like these lights, because if you could point up there, Michael, you could see on that one, I have the lights pre-rigged up there. Can you zoom in on the lights? There you go. And then one of the biggest things that you got to do when you pre-rig lights like this is make sure you put safety cables on there, because you don't want that falling on anyone and hurting them. But that's the cool thing with this is, so if you look up there, and I have them on channel 1, and I could just strike them whenever I want, and then go to a wide shot. So I got that one, and that's a nice rim light where we have a stool here, where we're gonna have our talent, our boxer, when we take photos in a little bit, sitting here. So that's where I have my first set of lights. And if you look back there, I have another set of lights, and those are on channel 2. So the cool thing with the remote is because you can strike these like that. So what those are doing is they're providing, let me turn off the first ones right here. If you see that, those are providing light for the background. So if you pan back here, Michael, a little bit and just wide, that provides light in the background so it's not all dark. Because if we turn these off in the back, it'll just be dead and really dark. That could be a look we want, but on this one, we're going for a little bit of color contrast. So these are daylight balance. And I got these up here too. These are also daylight balance too as well. So that's providing a nice rim light right here on the talent. That's lighting our background. We got 2 lights at full power to get a nice pop of light. And then this one right here is on channel 3. And I have that one. This is just going to be our main key light for our talent. And if you look on this one, you can tell just by looking at it, this is a lot warmer. So it's a tungsten ahead. And that's going to be lighting the talent. And this is just a silver reflector that I have from Lansanite. And this is just going to provide a nice specular fill if I need to bounce light, if I feel this is too dramatic, because the light here that I have is all hard light. It's all direct, harsh lighting. And it could provide some really dramatic, nice dark shadows. But if you want to quiet those shadows a little bit in and fill them in, we could use the reflector here or not. But usually when we're working with boxers and they're ripped, we want to show the physique, this type of lighting works absolutely great. So here again, here's a great thing. Let me just turn them all off. So now it's kind of more nice and dark here. The only light is hitting me is this one. So that's the setup that I have. We're using a total of 2, 4, 5 lights. This can in theory be 3 lights, but I decided to double up on the 2 up there, just so it lasts a little bit longer. Because when I have them rigged up really high, I'd rather try to have them 2 lights if you can at 50% than to have 1 light at 100%. So that's the setup that we have here and that we're shooting with. Another thing I'm going to do too, since this is the key light is tungsten balance, I'm going to play with the white balance in the camera and probably shoot it around 3200 or so. I'll play around with it, but that's normally how I get the background to be blue. So if you key in with this, usually to even be more dramatic, I have a tungsten hit on this, and then I still overcorrect it with a full CTO, and then that makes this light extra warm. And then I drop my Kelvin usually to 2500, and that makes these go extremely blue. So that's normally what I do with that. So that's the setup that we'll be shooting with today. And does anyone have any questions so far on the setup I'm doing?
Yeah, Alexis, we actually did have a couple of questions while you're talking about your lighting. Benjamin, who's joining us from YouTube. Benjamin joining us from YouTube. Welcome, Benjamin. He's asking what it means to you, cinematic lighting. So what's your definition of cinematic lighting?
That's a really open-ended question. For me, cinematographer Freddie Francis said there's good cinematography, there's bad cinematography, and then there's cinematography that's right for the story you're trying to tell. So for me, that sums it up pretty perfectly. Like there's no one key setup, there's no thing that means cinematic at all. You just need to know the story you're trying to tell and the feeling you're trying to evoke. One of the big things I talk about lighting when I'm teaching it is usually when people start, teaching it and they start throwing things at you, like saying, oh, you want to do this or you want to do that. You need to decide for yourself the style you want to light. Do you want to light for realism, or do you want to light for emotional impact? So when you see my use of color, most of my work, I'm lighting for emotional impact. I'm not lighting for realism or for naturalism or to replicate natural light. I can do that if I need to, but generally when I'm working with stories like the one I did with Omar, if you look at that, that's really stylized, that's really lit and colorized in a certain way. So to me, that's the way I like to light. And cinematic lighting to me could be anything. I mean, just look at all the Hollywood movies out there. Look at the different cinematographers like Roger Deakins or Janusz Kaminski. They're both night and day. I mean, cinematic could be a movie like Blair Witch Project, and that work now made hundreds of millions of dollars. So to me, there's nothing more specific. It's just to get to me, good lighting is being able to express yourself sincerely and being able to evoke the emotion you're trying to get the audience to feel. And sometimes you want light to help in that and enhance that. And sometimes you want light to just not even, sometimes I actually light images and I don't want even to look lit or to look sourcey, because I don't want people to think about the lighting. So that's something you have to think about as a creative, and know what you want and know what you like.
I actually love the way you answered that, Alexis. I think a lot of people try to make it such a one-dimensional thing, cinematic lighting, and use it to only mean one thing, which is usually moody. But there's a lot of applications across a lot of different genres of cinema. So I like that. I'm going to run with that definition. We got one more question coming in from Ross, who's also joining us from looks like live stream here. He asked if you are primarily using Fresnels and Bearheads, never softboxes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I tend to like, I mean, that's just my personal choice. I tend to like hard lighting. It's for what I do. If I need to light natural, what I would do is I would still use this, but I would just bounce it off like a scrim or reflector, or use a book light. If you don't know what a book light is, basically you're taking this light, like a hard source like this, you're bouncing it off of something like this, and then diffusing it with something else. So you're essentially making a softbox from the hard light. And that to me is just more versatile. Soft lighting, it's nice, it's beautiful, but to me it could get very boring very fast. But again, it depends on the need, on what you're using, and what you're the story you're trying to tell. I was working with an actor down in LA, and she's amazing. And she has an amazing face that could hold the screen. And I was pulling back on my lighting so much because I was like, it doesn't need to be overly lit. The lighting doesn't even need to be a character in even that photo or any of the interview we did, because she's so compelling and has such a great face for a camera that it didn't need it in that situation. So it's not that it's not that I tend to do one thing or I have a favorite setup. I have things I tend to do that I love doing. But if the moment or the subject matter calls for it, I have no problem changing my setup from this. I mean, I could easily swap this out to a shoot-through umbrella and just turn it really soft if I needed that or I wanted that look. For me, I go off reaction and my emotional reaction to whatever subject matter I'm shooting. And that's how I make the decision based on it. But yeah, so on this one, mainly Fresnels, but I do have soft boxes. And if you look on my body of work with ballet, I use a lot of hard lights there. But on the latest project or latest sessions that I did, I have one setup where it looks like natural light. They're 100% lit by strobes, but I made it really soft and shot it wide open because I wanted to see their faces in that, because I have an entire body of work where it's all dramatic and colorful. And after looking at that, I realized I was like, hey, I want to do some images where you can actually see all their features, see their face, and see who they are and recognize them. And in that situation, I use soft light for that. So yeah, it depends on on what you're going for and what you need. But yeah, I mainly use hard lights. I know I kind of overly answer that question, but that's my approach.
No, sounds good, man. Now, I know we're going to get to the debut of the documentary in a couple minutes here, but for those that joined late, I know Kristen, who's joined us on live stream, is asking what your camera setup is. I know you had gone over the Sigma FPL earlier. Is that what you're using tonight here?
Yes. So Kristen, hope you're doing well, but let me go over my setup here. I can bring it here a little bit closer so you could see it. So it looks a little bit more crazy than usual because I have a wireless transmitter here, but it's just the Sigma FPL. On it right now, I have a 40mm Sigma lens on it, and then the camera is rigged out with a cage because this camera is very tiny. So the cage just kind of helps you put this handle on it so you can put a monitor on it. And since with this camera, I usually, we're shooting with more modern lenses, Sigma lenses, but with this camera, I usually use, I love using continuous lightings like this, hard lights, and then vintage lenses. So I use a 7-inch monitor to check the focusing and composition. And the monitor I'm using here is an OC. It's a 4K display. It's HDMI and also SDI. And it's just powered through a Sony NPF battery. And then that's the wireless transmitter that I got. So yeah, I'll be shooting with this. And hopefully if it all goes well with this, you'll be able to see a live feed through my camera and the settings. And when you're shooting, I take the photograph, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm seeing on the screen. And generally, that's how I shoot with this camera, just like this, with this. Because with this, it's pretty much like having a 4x5 viewfinder and it's big enough where you could literally see if you have the image in focus or not, without having to punch in or anything like that. So yeah, that's the setup. This is my favorite setup when I'm going to use continuous lighting and need photos too as well.
Sounds good. Now, we're going to hold off on the questions. I see the questions still coming in, but I want to see this documentary. I want to see Alexis shoot live. So we're still going to have time for Q&A. So keep getting the questions in. I do want to remind everybody, only 10 minutes left to get entered. We are giving away that StellaPro CL 1000 and the ViewSonic monitor as well. So 2 giveaways for you guys tonight. Alexis, are you ready to uncap this documentary and let us see what's been cooking?
Let's do it, man. Go for it.
All right, man.
This sport is very, very tough, very lonely, but I do it like I love it. I have no problem getting up at 4 in the morning to do it all over again. I have no problem training 3 times a day. There were times during school where I had to wake up before school to work out, run back to my house to work out. You know, I dedicated my life to this, and I feel like my discipline is just growing as I grow as a fighter. Ever since I was a little kid, I love just not being the ordinary athlete, not being the ordinary person. You know, I was very timid. I was very shy, and boxing changed my life in a positive way. Helped me open doors to opportunities that I didn't even think I would ever accomplish. Boxing really brought me out physically, mentally, emotionally, and I'm in love with the sport, and it's a part of me. I was fortunate to have my parents. I was fortunate to have, you know, not what I want, but what I needed in order to grow the sport of boxing. And I'm coming. I've put my whole life on the line. I've sacrificed, dedicated my whole life into the sport, into this lifestyle. You know, I've been told that I wasn't going to make it in boxing by, unfortunately, relatives, friends that I thought, you know, I've lost friends throughout the process. People are fuel. Whether they're positive or negative comments, you use that as fuel to go one more round, to go one more mile, to go beyond to your limits. And that's exactly what happens to me. Every time I feel like giving up, I know that I have a lot of people to prove wrong. You know, I'm here to risk it all. I have nothing to lose, all to gain. I'm making noise, you know, one fight at a time. I'm always going to remember where I'm from. Beautiful Brownsville, Texas. We may not have a lot, but that is the home of Omar Juarez. My goal just in life in general is to be great. You know, I want to be remembered as one of the greats. I want to be something that the sport and the people have never seen before. I know my physical abilities. I know what I have to offer in the ring, and I still feel like the world hasn't seen everything that I can bring to the table. I just want to thank everybody so much for all the support. It's a blessing. It really is, because, like I said, growing up in the sport of boxing, not a lot of people believed in me. I lost friends, teachers, relatives. A lot of people did not believe in me. And for me to see that I have a community behind me, community supporting me, it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. And I'm going to continue to fight for you guys, for everybody, for the city of Brownsville, for the Valley, Mexico, all my fans and family in Mexico. Gracias por su apoyo y vamos por más. Timberland.
All right,
That was
cool, guys.
great.
So there was awesome. Thank you, man. By the way, if you guys want to see it, it should be live already on the YouTube channel on the Light Motion after the show. It'll be uploaded live, so you guys can check it out and see it with a little better audio and better quality in the stream. But yeah, that's the film I worked with Omar. And like I said, you know, in the beginning of this, we showed the behind the scenes of it. But what I love about that is that it was pretty much, it wasn't him revolving his schedule around the shoot. It was me revolving the shoot around his schedule. And all of that, actually, I would say like 95% of that wasn't set up. It was literally him training and me just coming over here when he was training in this gym or another one in San Jose and just putting lights up and being a one-man band with his lights and making it, you know, getting the lighting to where I want it and being as less intrusive as possible, and then just filming him and photographing him by myself.
Wonderful. Now, Alex, before we get into this shoot, I got a question. What was the most challenging part of making the documentary?
The most challenging part was, I would just say, you know, trying to be as intrusive as little, not being really intrusive when he's training, because fighters, I mean, I followed him till I think his week of the fight, he was fighting on Sunday, and the last day I filmed him was on Thursday, which actually was at this gym. And it's just really, it's easy for me because I'm just, filming him doing work and doing whatever I want. But like seeing the trainers seeing the fighters when this fight week and they're cutting weight and they're not eating a lot of food and they turn the heater up in here and it was like 100 degrees. Omar at one point, but that's where I get the ideas and inspirations. Like he just looked at me when I was just filming him and he was like, the only thing that keeping me going right now is God. Because he was just extremely exhausted and just trying to be respectful of their space, of their time, because they're going through a lot. And I would just say that's just the main thing I'm trying to be considerate of. And then just the other logistical thing would be trying to figure out, where he's training and what his schedule is, because it could vary from day to day. So it's usually not a set schedule. So you kind of got to be on call and be ready. And when he texted me, hey, I'm going to be, in this gym in San Jose at this time, just packing up all my lights, being ready to go, get in there, and then, getting, familiar with that gym and making friends with whoever's there. And then being, and getting enough permission and, and getting a rapport with that owner so they let me set up lights like this. And thankfully, I've been welcome to every boxing gym I've ever visited, and they've been very, very nice and helpful with me. But that, I would say, logistically, that's the biggest thing when you're working with any athlete or boxer. And then when they tell you that and you set up, you have no idea how they're going to arrive, how their mood's going to be. They could be in a good mood, they could be really tired, or they could be just not. When you're deprived of food and you're cutting weight and you're training really hard, it could definitely affect how you are as a person. So you just kind of got to be prepared yourself mentally with how the talent's going to be. And you're in their world, so you got to, accustom yourself to that.
Definitely. Well, I think you're giving everyone major pre-fight press conference vibes right there, sitting at the table with the speed bag behind you. You got us all amped up and ready to go. So you ready to get this shoot on? Yeah.
We got 1 second. I think our talent's getting, our boxers getting hand wraps, which is fine. We haven't in so far, but in the documentary, he gets that.
Yes, definitely. We'll actually throw some more questions in. And Johnson, who's joining us here on Zoom, actually had a question that I had as well. Whenever you talk action photography, especially something indoors, and when we think of boxing gyms, we think the epitome of bad lighting, right? It's always dark in there and dim. Do you mix constant lights with strobes ever? Is it just constant lights all the time? And can you tell us about your decision to use constant lights?
Yeah, he'll wrap his hands in a second. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll get you, we can do mitts in a little bit. So you need his hand wrapped? Could you do it himself? I'm saying. Want them wrapped, otherwise you don't need them. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be good if we could get them wrapped. Thank you. Yeah, what do you call it? I mix when I'm filming and the stuff I was doing with Omar. That's just continuous lighting. When I'm doing, I don't mix them unless I'm doing something really creative. Yeah, you can hold off on wrapping and just chill there for a second. Yeah, I don't mix them like for something like this. I wouldn't mix them. There's no need to mix them because like this is all the light that I need. So we could film it and, and do photos. Like I don't mix it unless it's something really specific that I'm doing for a creative technique where I'm dragging the shutter and I'm freezing them with the flash, and whatever the continuous light hits will be blurred out. I have some images like that with ballet dancers. If you look at my work, and that's the time when I mix the lighting. But in generally, I know that person said for action. I don't like if you're shooting the actual fights, you're not allowed to use flash, so you just got to use the TV lights. When they're in here, when they train, I'll put up a flash. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm just doing photos, I'll generally use strobes. But if I got to do both photos and video, I'll use continuous lighting because that lighting, like I said, once you have it rigged up, you just rig up one set of lights and it's lit, and then it could work for video and it'll work for photos too as well. The trade-off to that, to using continuous lighting for photos, is generally your ISO has to be a lot higher. And with the strobes, you could push ISO 100 like F11, get a clean, sharp image without having much to think about.
Okay, I'm glad you went into that because Benjamin from YouTube was actually asking about what issues you faced in working as a photographer versus a filmmaker. Is there anything other than the lighting that poses a challenge when you're working with stills versus video?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're a still photographer, I've had issues. I only had one issue one time covering a media day and a fighter. I had a cinematographer, one of the guys filming there for, I forgot what station. He was just went ballistic when he saw my strobes go off. He said, "Oh, you can't let your strobes go off. They're going to ruin my video." And that's the only issue I had, and I couldn't use my strobes. But other than that, usually everyone's really cool, really friendly, and lets you use strobes. The main, not the issue, but the one thing if you're only using continuous lighting is, like, again, these lights are great, and they're small and portable. But the thing with continuous lighting, when you need a lot of power, it gets really heavy and really expensive really fast. So if you want to do something outside, or you need a big light source, or really, really strong light source, this easily exponentially gets big and heavy. With strobes, you know, a strobe light, it's a lot smaller because it only does a little pop of light, so you could get more power from it. But the trade-off to that is you're only doing photos. With this, you could do both. So that's kind of the trade-off for having each light. Hold off on that one. I'll take photos of you putting the last one. Yeah.
And we'll throw another one in here if we have time for it. Ross is asking,
yeah,
for that atmospheric glow that you have, is that due to any filtering or LUTs, or is that part of the vintage lens feel?
No, with Omar, I used all clinical lenses. I was using actually the Canon 28 to 70 f2, and that's a really clinical lens. But I did have that filter thread on that lens is like 95 millimeters or so. On that one, I was using the matte box, and I was using glimmer glass. So that's it's similar to a Pro Mist. But when I was using that lens, I had glimmer glass on the matte box. And then when I used any other lens like the 70-200, I use a white mist from Hoya. And that generally, you know, makes it more softer and gives you that glow around. Like when Omar's put in his hand wraps and when he looks up, that glow around him, that's a vintage lens with the Pro Mist like this. And I overexpose the highlights by, you know, 2 to 3 stops, and that gives you that nice glow. But today we're going to be using really more modern lenses. These, again, this is the Sigma Art 40 millimeter 1.4, and then that's the Sigma 85 with no filters on it. So we're going to get a nice, clean, sharp image with a nice shallow depth of field, and there'll be no glow on this one. So these will be like nice, sharp images.
Wonderful. Well, if you guys are ready, we're ready.
All right, cool. So I think, I don't know if you could go to the seed right here. But this is our talent right now, our boxer. I photographed him a few times. Oh, here we go. So here we go. So you guys can see what my camera is going to see. Right now, it's not going to be in focus. But I'll show, go right here. Before you, if you could go to the white shot, Mike. So I'll just show how this is going to set up. So we have him, let me get out of the way here. So we have him sitting here, and I have him sitting there specifically for a purpose, because we got our main lights right here. They're going to provide a nice glow, which you can see here. Oh, thank you. You struck that one. So that's actually really nice. And then I have 2 lights in the back of what I'm saying, which will light our background right here like that. And I can actually turn that down from here. That's a little too bright, which I think I will, like that. So we have here. And so actually that looks really nice if we want him to look nice and mysterious. Right now, this camera is exposed for his face, but the way I'm going to shoot, it's not going to be like that. So it's going to look darker. So I'm going to turn on the key light here. And this one is, ooh, I have to shine it right on my face. Yeah, keep it right there. He's laughing because he's like, oh, now, you know how it feels now, huh? Yeah. So if we look here, if we got that one, this silver one is just going to put right here, and it could fill those shadows. But we're going to go no shadows here because we want a nice, dark, dramatic image of him. And let me just go here and just start adjusting my camera. So just give me 1 second. There you go. And let me just check what ISO I'm at. I'm at 1600. So let me go to F4 and focus it right here. All right, cool. So we'll just pump that up a little bit more. We'll leave it at 800. Okay, cool. We're almost ready to go. And then the other thing I'm just gonna do, guys, here is just play with my white balance. So you could, I think you can see that on the screen, correct? My white balance? Yeah, you can see it on the bottom. So if you see that right there, since that tungsten head is warm there, I drop it at 3200. He stays normal, and then the background stays blue. So, all right, bro, just do your thing, and then go ahead, wrap your hand, and then I'll take photos. Keep like that. And then the great thing with shooting with a monitor like this is if you want to get nice and low and do something like this, you don't got to get down on the ground.
I mean, and you see the benefit to using the continuous lights. There's no metering, there's no guesswork, there's no taking 5 pictures to get your lighting right. It's pretty much a couple turns of some dials and you're good.
Yeah, pretty much. So in this lower angle, I'm just going to bring in this a little bit so we can see him a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, the great thing, I mean, you guys can see the results here with the continuous lighting. It's what you see is what you get. So that's a huge benefit to shooting with it.
Do you find that your subjects are more comfortable with using the continuous light? Because like you said before, especially with athletes, you know, having a flash go off can be a little unnerving. I
don't think so. I mean, with boxers, like these guys are pretty tough, man. They could handle anything. So, you know, they're good. All right, cool. There you go. Turn a little bit like that. Let's do that again. Let's go. When you were punching like that, there we go. Keep her head. Yeah. Like that. Keep her head. And then just look down right here. Perfect. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Cool. And then just look straight down at your fist and just look down. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Close your eyes looking down. There you go. Just close your eyes. Perfect. Boom. There you go. So we got that shot right here. Really like how that turns out. You like that? Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. So that's one setup here. So before I go to something else, is there any questions on my, you guys could see them here. It's like any of these would be cool shots and you can literally with the monitor see the composition here, see how we're going to shoot them, see any flaring. Like I said, this is a pretty modern lens, so it doesn't flare that much. But there you go, that's the setup right here. And then we could just, if we get up here, if we just still, we could just get up. Oh, you can stay sitting now. Yeah, we'll go here and then we could just see, just kind of get more of a environmental portrait. There you go, turn this way a little bit. There you go, just like that. There you go, perfect. Ready? Just stay looking in that direction. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. There you go. And then just close your eyes and look down. There you go. Perfect. Keep like that. And we got them here. We got a nice shot, which you guys should see here on the screen. So this is just stay there for a second. So this is a regular lighting setup that we have here. Is a little bit right here. So if we want to make it more dramatic, you could do when he's facing this direction what's called a far side key, which you basically put this right here, almost across from him. It works really well with any three-quarter action like this, and you put it right here. So go ahead, look down again. And like, see, that's a little too bright right there because I have it closer to him. So let me just drop this here like that. But with this, we could see it right off the bat. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Cool. So that's nice and dramatic, and we could even drop that even more if we wanted to. So if I had a pro mist on the camera right here, that would make that, give him a nuclear rim light. There you go, just like that. So that's beautiful, nice and dramatic. And if we want to just fill him in a little bit, we bring in the reflector. And that just provides just a small little fill right there. And we got that photo there. And that's just like a quick setup. So what we'll do next is I'll swap lenses. I'll do an 85. And then we'll do some nice portraits, man. You could take your shirt off if you want. And we'll do some portraits with the 85 and we'll do some close-ups. But while I change lenses, is there any questions about what I did right now?
Now, we don't have anything coming in from the audience, but you guys feel free to get them in now. Alexis, do you normally shoot? I mean, this is a pretty simple setup. You got a couple lights, but other than that, it's, you know, you're not seeing you pull out V flats and going crazy. I mean, it's simple, couple lights and a reflector there. Do you normally keep it this simple, or is it something that you go based on what the shoot is?
I go based on what the shoot is. So it completely depends. I mean, there's another shoot that I did here with another boxer named Mario Barrios. And I pretty much brought everything except the kitchen sink on that shoot. I brought V flats. I had a stylish for that shoot. I did both continuous lighting and strobes, and we shot indoors, outdoors. So it depends on what you're doing and how long you're planning to shoot. So for this, we're just planning on shooting for like, you know, maybe 20 minutes or so, and that kind of dictates the setup I'll have. And again, it just depends on who you're shooting and what you're doing. You know, there's the thing, you know, keep it simple. Like when I did a shoot with Floyd, I had 30 seconds. So that one is just a simple 2-light setup, and you get the best you can. When you have opportunities and you have great talent, like, right, you could plan out your entire day and shoot for whatever time you got, 20 minutes, whether if it's 30 minutes. I've done photo shoots that last 14 hours. So for those, we do everything, that's possible. So.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, and ready to just sit down right here. We'll just do a nice close-up. Let me see. Let me get the remote. So another thing that I get in the habit of doing too with the remote is because I have the lights blasting at full power. I just get in the habit of turning them off because you don't want them to die when they're up there. And again, that's a huge benefit and the good thing of having the little remote. So let me turn them all on again. There you go. We have them here. So on this one, since we're going to do a tight portrait, a tight headshot, so I'm just going to finesse this light so we get nice 3/4 lighting in here. Like this, and if you could see, I'm feathering it so it's not hitting him flat like that, more like this. And we go here, and then let me just get the camera here to make sure we're good on him. There you go. Let me get this a little lower here. So I'll keep it for you guys. I'll keep this. I'm a 6'3" for some reason. Oh, this lens is manual. Hold on. So if you shoot with this lens, you'll understand that it has a aperture ring, which is pretty rare for like a modern lens. Oh, my bad. Keep right there. So let me just go here. All right, cool. We'll go here. So that is looking nice and dramatic. Keep right there. All right, just look right here, Eddie. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. And for everybody's sake, I'll keep it. I'll keep it horizontal like this, because if I go vertical, everybody will have to turn their necks just like that. 1, 2, and 3. All right, cool. So we got just something nice and dramatic here. What I'm going to do is turn on or turn brighter the backlights, because that background is going a little too dark. Let me see here if you could see it right there. So you could see it here a little bit more in the background. And I'll turn this down here even more so we see the background even more. There you go. There you go. Just like that. And so that's looking great. And I'm just going to adjust the reflector here so we see him a little bit more. I'm going to put my camera down.
Now, Johnson was asking about the use of the multiple lights. He's asking, are you only using multiple lights to prolong the runtime of the lights, or can you achieve the same look with fewer lights?
Yeah, like I said, you can do this with three. You can do this with 3 lights. I said that earlier. I just have 4 here. So if you have if you could have more lights, just rig up twice the 2 lights up there, and you have them at half power instead of having one at full power.
Okay.
But you could totally do it with just 3 lights. There you go. Keep it just like that. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. There you go. All right, cool. Keep it like that. You know what, guys? I lied. I'm going to do 1 vertical photo because he looks really good. Keep it like that. All right, there you go. Look right there. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. That's a nice face-off, game face right there. All right, cool. And then one thing I will do here. Hold on. Let me just get this lighting here. I want to try to get a little catch light in this eye right here. So I'm going to drop this a little bit until we see it. Actually, what I'm going to do. Yep.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Alexis.
No, I was going to say I'm going to switch or swap out that. I'll do this on the fly here just because I think this will look really good. I'll swap out this light. I'll turn it off for him with an umbrella, so we could see the difference between the really harsh lighting and then something nice and soft. But you were going to say if there's a question?
Yeah, we had a couple questions actually in on accessories, where people were asking if about your any other modifiers or that are your go-to that you use a lot other than reflectors or what we see here with the umbrella. What are your favorite modifiers, and do you ever use a tripod when you're shooting like this? Yes,
it depends on how much time you got to finesse your image. When you could really control your image and you got time, I use a tripod all the time. But if I have a shoot and I'm only going to get like 10 minutes with somebody or 5 minutes with someone and I have to get X amount of shots, I wouldn't use a tripod. But when it's a shoot where I have a couple hours and I could set up the shot and we could get it right, I'll 100% use a tripod, because it's one less thing to think about, and then you could just focus on your talent and your subject and get in a good expression from them. So let me go here. So here we go. So this is much more pretty lighting right here. Hold on, let me just open this even more. Oh, there you go. Keep it like that. We'll go vertical one here. All right, bro, this is really good. I think all the girls will like this one. Keep right here. There you go. We get him to smile like that. He's don't let the smile fool you. He's a stone cold killer. He'll knock you out, man. You ready? All right, keep it like that. Cool, but we could see a difference here from the other shots that I did. This is just like much nice softer light. And for this with the reflector, we probably don't even need this. So if we could just see a difference right here, with that one, there you go. Keep it right there. Just 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. I know she's showing up sideways like that, but and then just turn your other way towards the light a little bit. There you go, just like that. Keep turning a little bit more. There you go. Now face me. There you go. Perfect. Keep it just like that. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. And you see like just the color we're getting, because I get a lot of questions usually how I color grade my photo here. I'll take just one horizontal one and then just kind of put your fist up like that. There you go. Keep it right here. I have to back up a little. Alrighty, 1, 2. Let me get a track his eye. 1, 2, and 3. Like I get a lot of questions on the color grading, but if you see this is just being done in camera with the white balance, and then shooting him with a tungsten head. So let me just get nice and low here. There you go. That's perfect. Let's do one of these. So your face this way, and then just kind of go like this with your fist. There you go. I'm looking down. Yeah, perfect. Just like that. Can you put your fist a little bit higher? And then there you go. Chin down a little bit more. And then just chin down. Yeah, there you go, like that. And I think I'm right on the edge of the table, guys. Here, give me 1 second. Keep it 1, 2, and 3. There you go, cool. And then, okay, there you go. We'll just take one more. All right, cool. So we could do some standing up. I will switch back to the 40 because this is a little tight. How are we doing on time for the shooting?
We're good. We got time for a few more. Yeah, we got time for a couple more shots. And if you could remind everybody, about some people who missed what strobes what continuous lights you're shooting with, and what the power on the key light and those background lights is.
They're all, I'm using the Light Motion CLX 10s. So these are great for video and also doing photos, stills like this, as you see. And their power on all these lights is 10,000 lumens. So that's one thing that I really like about them having a tungsten light. You don't got to put a gel on it, and it stays up to 10,000 lumens, and you're switching the white balance, like so we're getting a nice color play like we are here.
Wow, nice.
Yep. Let me just switch this real fast.
No worries. And just remind everybody, we do have the giveaway coming up. Registration has been closed, but if you did get your registration in, stay tuned.
I'm gonna do like your portrait.
Couple products here.
Like your yeah, like that. Yeah, there you go. Keep right here. We'll do this. So we'll go here. Okay, cool. That looks great. So if you look here, he stood up. So since he stood up, I'm gonna just have to raise the slide a little bit because I had it set for him when he was sitting down. Let me go here. We'll look right here. There you go. Let me turn this up a bit. All right, perfect. Keep right there. That's cool right there. So just do that and then move this way a little bit. Keep going this way. So take a whole step this way. So stand right here. There you go. Perfect. And just do that what you were doing again. There you go. Perfect. Like that. There you go. Keep right there like that. So that's actually looking pretty cool. Let's just make sure he gets them. So I'll just take this photo right here, but I'm gonna well, it's cool. I'm just gonna adjust the umbrella. It's a little too high right there. Actually, you know what? It's like that. I might be able to get some light to pop in right here like this. Go ahead, look down. Or there you go. Keep facing that way. When you there you go, like that. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. That's looking good. And I think, do we have one more light by chance, Janine? So yeah, no, that's fine. So just keep it here like that. So actually, if I could just usually just hold it on there. So go to the same stance you had before, where you were just looking down like that. So if you could just bounce that off of here, just come around right here, Janine. Sorry guys, I'm working here on the flyer here. I just saw a nice shot, so I'm gonna go here, and then turn it down all the way. Right here, there we go. Turn it all up. So what we're doing here, since we can't, there you go. And then I'll slowly turn it up here. There you go. So that's coming back here like that. So that's the same setup he did before, or the same look he did before looking down. And then we're just filling in that shadow because it was really dark. There you go, keep right there. There you go, that looks pretty badass. Keep right here.
Yeah, looks nice.
You like that? You want to do one like when you're doing like a weigh-in like that? There you go, just like that. Perfect. Face me square directly. So turn to me. There you go, just like that. Perfect. All right, keep it like that. 1, 2, and 3. And then just look straight down now. There you go, perfect. Excellent, right there. Keep it just like that. All right, cool. How we're doing on time, guys? We could probably do one more setup if we want, or if not, we could just wrap it up.
No, I think we've been mixing some questions in, so let's see another setup, and then you know, we got another
cool.
10 minutes, so we'll have plenty.
Jeff, can you guys do minutes real fast in here? Would that work? Yeah, that's cool. So what we'll do here is a little bit of action, and we'll just have him in the same setup right here, and you guys will be hitting mitts. So we'll do that. So in the meantime, while I get that, because that'll just take a little bit. Do we have any questions about the shoot, what we're doing?
Yeah, definitely. Johnson was asking if you ever use gels, and with using the continuous lights, is there any particular gels that you have to use?
Yeah, I use Roscoe gels, and it just depends on how long you're using them. I've burned them before, so you just kind of be careful with the power and how close you have them. So, but yeah, usually for these lights specifically, I'll show you right here. What I use, I know this is not meant for this, and then probably the engineers of Light and Motion will be like, what the hell? But like their Fresnel lens have like this rubber band right here, if you look. So I usually take the first one off like this, and then I put the gel over here, over it like that, and then I just wrap it back with the rubber band right here. And that works really well because you don't want to use tape or anything like that because they'll melt off. But that holds the gel pretty well. You just got to be careful because if you have them on a long time, they'll burn through the gel. But I do use the gels with these.
You were that kid that put non-microwave safe bowls in the microwave, didn't you?
All the time. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. So, you guys ready? Keep it here. All right, so we'll do one quick setup. Jeff, if you guys could do it here. So if you know where to stand. Yeah, just stand right here, and then he'll be right there. Okay. That works. Let's just see that.
Right-handed. You want?
Oh, you want to flip it? Yeah, we can flip it then. Keep right here. That works. All right, cool. No, so good. The lights are perfect on you now, Jeff. We'll get a shot. We'll get you, bro. I got you. So keep right here. Guys, this is Jeff. This is one of the trainers here. Big shout out and thank you to him for walking us to the gym. So keep right here. So if we look, hold on, let me, go ahead, guys. You can see a setup here. There you go. Give me 1 sec. Go ahead, just guys, do your thing. There we go. Let's see if I got them. 1, 2, and 3. So keep guys, just keep going, guys. For a shot like that, I normally don't use this camera because it has a lag, but go for it. So I'm trying to time them. But usually with the other cameras have a lot less lag and you can get it down. Let's see. I got it on that one. There you go. Got one shot on that. But guys, so in this one, let's time a punch. So give me a 3-point like a three hit combo. Yeah, and then end it with the left hook, so I can see it. Yeah. Open up. Yep, like that. And then let's just time it. Let's see it. Let's see if I got it. There you go. So I got the timer on that one, but on the when you do the left hook, you could just like act like you're yelling and faking it like with the last time. Just go like, ah. So just like, boom, fake it. Let's just see it. All right, cool, like that. That's perfect. Keep it right there. Let's see if I got it. There you go, cool. We'll do that one more time. Just, I know this is counterintuitive. When we do that one more, just keep your right hand down a little lower so we can see your face. A little lower, yeah. Okay. Let's see, hold on. Oh, he's doing one more punch. Okay, cool. He's doing 4 now, right? Yeah. All right, go ahead. Let me see. I just got a time. I was going on 3. No, it's all good. Keep it right there. Let's see. Yeah, finish it. Finish it with the left. Keep going in. There you go. I got it, but like on your face, right? Just you just want to be like yelling more. Like that's the punch I'm getting.
Make a mean face.
So just make a mean face when you do that. Go.
Open your mouth.
You got it?
Everything we get you practice. Don't open your mouth. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't do whatever everything you don't do to the fight. Ready? Go ahead. Let's see if we got it. Go ahead. He's making me laugh. Let's do one more. Another thing.
Don't be so serious.
Another thing we could do, if we had time, we'll keep finishing. If you put water on these, when you hit it, it'll splatter away. But
and Alexis,
we'll
looks
just
like we
give it a
lost
shot.
your audio there.
Was that? All right. Oh, we losing sound? All right, give me 1 second. All right, let's do one more. I'm getting him. Let's go. Let's see if I got him. Oh, there you go. We got the last one. I think it looks decent.
Does not look like.
Does it look like you? But Jeff looks great though, man, on that one though. So.
Looks like. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, all right. We want to do one quick. Do I got sound back on or no? Is my sound still off?
No, you're good.
Keep right here.
Finish with the right hand this time, right?
Right here. There you go. Just on the last punch, just act like you're yelling on that one. Keep right there. There you go. Let's go again. Yo, ah, there you go, like that. Let's ready. I mean, this is how you ended up like that. I mean, I think they could see that on screen like that. Oh, you guys could see it up there. That's why you guys kept looking over. I didn't see that up there. So do you see that's how it looks? So in the last shot, just make sure you look. There you go. Give me a nice yell. Go ahead. Go again. Keep going. Sorry, I wasn't ready. There you go. You're fine on that one, but I think we're good. Let's just take a quick portrait of you guys together, and then we'll be good. Let's have you a two-push portrait. So I think let's just have you sitting down on this, and then Jeff, we could just have you to his side. Yeah, keep like that. There you go. That's perfect, just like that. Keep right there, guys. So what I'll do here, I'll just kick the f-stop to F4. Keep it just like that, guys. Oh, this is cool. You guys could see the portrait right there, huh? You guys can see how it looks. All right, guys, ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right, perfect. Are you good with that? How it looks, Jeff?
No, whatever.
You guys good? All right, guys, that's a wrap, dude. That's good.
Man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, guys. So I don't know. Can you guys hear me again?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm back. All right, cool. So that's a wrap on the shoot. Yeah, we're good, man. Thank you. Awesome, man. You guys got any questions before I turn all that off?
We got two last quick questions. Question number one, Benjamin is asking if you ever use a light meter.
I do from time to time use a light meter. So I could say here the light's good on me, so that works. Yeah, I do use a light meter from time to time. So it depends on the setup I'm doing. If I'm trying to nail the exposure, it's always a lot easier to when you're trying to guess the exposure, just take one reading and then get it right versus just trying to shoot and then keep looking at the back of the camera. So that's a lot easier for your talent. So if I'm going to be in a situation where I have to nail the exposure, I use a light meter also for scouting too. If I'm going outside on location, instead of taking all the gears and the lights, I'll take the light meter and see what the reading is at the ambient versus what I'm trying to get. And that'll let me know what gear I have to pull out.
Okay. And Kristen's asking, how do you deal with athletes that aren't in a good mood, but you still got to go in there and get great pictures? Do you have any techniques or tricks?
There's no tricks to that. You just got to be respectful of the time, professional, be efficient, and finish. I mean, sometimes you're going to have subjects that don't care to take your photograph, that they don't care to have their photographs taken. And at that point, you should hopefully, you're going to have to be good enough in your craft where you can make an image that's solid, that's subject proof, if that makes sense. So we'll have to be really visually compelling with color, with lighting, or whatever. When the person is just like sitting down like this, not interacting with you, it'll still hold up. That's kind of a worst case scenario. But for that situation, it's just being a human and talking to them and not having the camera in their face. And, you know, if you get 5 minutes with them, talk to them for 3-4 minutes and just fire off, you know, 4 or 5 shots and be efficient, and they'll appreciate that. Or if you got 10 minutes with them, finish in 2 and let them relax. And that's something that they'll appreciate. So, you know, just because you have, you know, 30 minutes with someone or 20 minutes with someone doesn't mean you take up all their time. Especially when you're shooting the athletes for editorial, for magazines, because they're not getting paid for those shoots. So that's why a lot of times you're in a time crunch to get the results you need to. So yeah, I mean, there's no magic in that. I mean, at that point, it doesn't matter what camera you're shooting or what lens you're using. It's all in your interpersonal skills and how you talk to that person and how you can connect and vibe with them.
Wonderful. Well, Alexis, this was great, really, just to get to see the way you work, get to see you do your thing. So I'm ready to give away some stuff. I know Stella and ViewSonic are ready to give away some stuff. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. All right, let's get up the randomizer right there, the picker wheel. So let's give it a spin, Pat Sajak. Rodrigo Izquierdo is our winner for the StellaPro CL 1000. Congratulations, Rodrigo. And we'll have somebody from the Stella team reach out to you. And we are going to get ready to give away the ViewSonic VG1655 portable 15.6-inch monitor. Let's give it a spin.
Nice. Let's go. This is a nice portable monitor.
I don't see my name on there. What's going on? There we go. All right, I'm going to try not to butcher. Sait Mesut Khan Ilhaner. If I did butcher your name, I apologize. Please let me know. But you are the winner of the ViewSonic VG1655 portable 15.6-inch monitor. So congratulations to Sait and Rodrigo for winning our giveaway tonight. I do want to give a special thank you to the StellaPro Lights team, along with ViewSonic, everybody on the team, Michael, Janine, and everybody behind the scenes that made this event possible. We really try to bring you guys different, varied, interesting content and not just have people sitting behind screens. So the man of the hour, Alexis, I want to thank you as well for your time and for taking us into your studio on the go.
Thank you. I mean, are we good, or we got any time? I could show the images if you want them. They're on my screen, but if we're out of time, we're out of time.
No. We always got time for images. Let's take a look at some of these.
Cool. And I'll take questions. I mean, I know obviously I didn't shoot a lot, but in reality, I don't shoot a lot when I'm shooting it. If I get the shot down, I'll move on. But so this is everything we just shot right now. And again, none of these are retouched or anything like that, but you could just see the colors, how they pop, and how I get the color contrast going straight for them. So that's the last portrait that we did. Actually really liked how that turned out. These are the shots we were getting. You know, he's a really cool dude. He was laughing. I was trying to get him nice and mean, but that's lit from the ground up, 100%. This is all our lighting here. We turn off all the house lights, and these are the results of the images we got. So typically, when I do a shoot, I'll just go through them and pick just the best ones and go really fast. But yeah, if you look right here, these are amazing. These are 61 megapixels. I shot RAW plus JPEG for this presentation, so I could load up the JPEG fast. But like I would probably pick this image, one of these two right here, this one or this one. I like both of them. But on this one, if I had more time and I was shooting with a vintage lens, I would have gotten a really nice, beautiful flare. This is a nice soft flare from that lens, but it's nice and sharp. And in this situation, it works really well. But yeah, while I go through these, does anyone got any questions? Like this one, I love. Like this is a great shot right here. I really like.
Do you go into a shoot like this with anything in mind, or do you kind of just like to work on the fly and go with the vibe?
I always go with the game plan, but the main thing with me is going with a game plan and be flexible and be reactive with because a lot of the times your talent could give you like just gifts like that are just like, you know, gifts from the gods that like, you know, you come in and the talent will give you an expression or an idea that's way better than I could have thought of. And for me, I stay flexible with that because I know, at least in my experience, that if I have an idea in my head and I go out and I do a shoot and that's all I end up doing, at best, I know I made a mediocre image. Because usually if the shoot goes well, something happens in the shoot, whether it's a happy accident, a mistake, or just like a blessing. Chivo, the cinematographer, calls them miracles, when they happen on sets or shoots all the time. And I couldn't agree with him more because, the talent or anything could happen. It could give you a result that's way better than you could have imagined. So I certainly go in with a game plan, and I just stay flexible. And if anything happens, I'm willing to adapt and change. I mean, that's like a shoot that I did with Barrios that I did here. We had everything planned with the stylist, and we came in here, we opened up the roll-up door. There was beautiful sunlight coming in there. I told the stylist, that's going to be gone any moment now if the clouds come. So let's work a setup with that. I put V-flats in the back, and we changed the outfit, and we changed the whole entire order of our shoot and made it happen. And those are some of the favorite images from that shoot.
When I think going back to what we were talking about earlier, Alexis, with the reason, I mean, one of the main reasons for using continuous lights, other than you have beautiful light quality there, but it's just easy to go in. Like you were talking about with celebrities, sometimes you only have 30 seconds, 2 minutes. You don't have a lot of time with people. And to be able to go in and see the light as it happens, especially when you're working on crews where you might have a creative director there who wants to see what you're looking at and kind of shape out the scene in front of them, just makes it so much easier, right?
It can, like, it has that benefit, and it's what you see is what you get. And if you could black out the room, definitely that's something that's really great, and you could do it too. And you don't have that flash bursting in a person's face. But the biggest benefit to this, it's like if we were doing, because a lot of clients in general now want both photo and video. So like this setup right here, if we were filming video, it would look, this is the lighting for video too, it would look identical to this. So we could make matching video to this in slow motion or regular. And that's the biggest benefit to using continuous lighting now, because if clients want both, or they want a motion poster or any animation on it, like it's already lit. And with strobes, you can't do that, unfortunately. But with continuous lighting, I didn't do any video for this because I wasn't set up. But if you look at any setups that we did here, like if you see how clean this lighting looks, this could have been a motion portrait. This could have been the moving. I could have been panning. I could have been doing anything with this. So that's in my opinion, that's a huge advantage of using cinematic lighting.
See, that was spoken like somebody who clearly is in 2021, because now everything, I mean, the line between video and stills is blurred, and I'm sure you're seeing a lot more clients that want a mix of both.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do want both. And then, so when the thing that you always go with when I direct and I need to shoot stills and I do my own projects and I need to do both, and I'm getting a still image and I take a still image and also a short film like Omar's, like you saw Omar on the behind the scenes, that I just had the setup ready and I just snapped photos and they came out looking great because you already got the lighting setup all done. And it's just a logistical thing, and a budget thing, because it's like, you see all the lights that I have rigged up here, you only rig up one set of lights. If you had to do both, like your budget it doesn't double, but it definitely swells when, I would have to rig up strobes up here too, and have 2 sets of Reagans, 2 sets of lights and all that stuff. And that could get time consuming and expensive really fast. So, when you can get away and just use cinema lights, it's great because, again, it's already lit and it's great. And then you just film your video and then get your stills.
That's awesome. Well, Alexis, I want to thank you again for your time and for showing us the way through your shoot. And again, another thank you to our sponsor for today's event, StellaPro Lights, in coordination with ViewSonic, and to the whole team and everybody that made this possible, our event space team, the wonderful Stephanie Gross, who played a part in getting this all set up. So thank you to everybody on my side, your side, and to all of our viewers out there for tuning in, sending in all your questions. We can't do it without you. We do it for you. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the B&H Event Space team. That's another round in the books. Alexis, thank you.
Thank you for having me,
man.
All right, guys.
Wonderful.
Take care. Hope
Everybody
you enjoyed
else.
it.